Good evening, Doc. Good evening, classmates. Tonight, we will be presenting our final output, which is the summary of our milestone 1, 2, and 3. Before we begin, allow me to introduce first my group mates, starting with Sir Brian E. Orgel, Ma'am Rostel A. Tejerero, Ma'am Edna L. Lugato, Ma'am Regine C. Juan, Ma'am Nika Clara Argapas, and yours truly. Now that you've met my group mates, let me walk you through the overview of our report. So we have here the summary of needs analysis, project proposal overview, potential impact, and implementation plan. To begin, I'd like to present a brief review of our needs analysis regarding the dengue outbreak at Lupang Pangako Elementary School. This will provide context for the rest of our findings and recommendations. This analysis evaluates the risk of dengue transmission at Lupang Pangako Elementary School, following 92 reported cases between January and April 2025. It examines environmental and social factors driving the outbreak, identifies vulnerable groups such as students and low income families, and assesses awareness and participation in prevention efforts. The goal is to uncover gaps in current responses and inform a targeted data driven action plan. Based on our assessment, we have identified several key issues contributing to the dengue outbreak at Lupang Pangako Elementary School. First, inconsistent community participation. Despite awareness campaigns, cleanup efforts are not regularly practiced, especially in surrounding communities. Participation tends to drop without direct supervision or incentive. The next one, lack of sustained government support. Interviews revealed insufficient support from the local government, particularly in areas like fogging operations, distribution of health kits, and educational campaigns in marginalized communities. Third one, environmental factors. Continuous rainfall and high humidity create ideal breeding condition for mosquitoes, especially when combined with improper waste disposal and unmanaged vegetation. And the last one, limited access to dengue prevention tools. Households, particularly those in low-income brackets, lack access to basic tools such as mosquito nets, insect repellents, and proper waste disposal supplies. That concludes my part of the report. Now I'd like to turn it over to Ma'am Nika, who will discuss the next part of our report.
In data gathering, we have two, which is the qualitative data and the quantitative data. In the qualitative data, it is conducted interview for the school staff, parent, and the nearby community of Lupang Pangako Elementary School. Quantitative data. To collect our data, our group used Google Form surveys and questionnaires to analyze the pressing issue that impact high number of reported dengue cases in Lupang Pangako Elementary School. The result from the interview and surveys reveals that Lupang Pangako Elementary School faces several urgent needs related to dengue prevention. These include low awareness of dengue, poor environmental sanitation, limited access to prevention tools, and weak medical response capacity. Inconsistent government support and lack of a proper monitoring system also hinder effective control efforts. Addressing this issue is essential to protect health of the student and surrounding community. Project proposal review in response to the alarming increase in the dengue cases at Lupang Pangako Elementary School and its surrounding communities, a comprehensive intervention plan has been developed focusing on three key areas. The first one is enhancing community awareness and engagement. The second one is medical system strengthening and response readiness. And lastly, monitoring and evaluation. The project focuses on prevention and early response and community involvement to create a safer and healthier environment for the student and residents.
Okay, so as we continue to the next part of our presentation regarding with the enhancing community awareness and engagement. So for this part, our goal is to give the learners, the parents, and the community members about what is dengue prevention, what are the symptoms, and early intervention. So aside from that, another objectives or our goal is to encourage the involvement in dengue control efforts through a cleanup drives and educational campaigns and volunteer initiative. So how we can implement it? So one thing that we can do is to conduct a regular dengue awareness session. So how we can do it? So we can have a gathering like school assembly, classroom discussion, or we can coordinate with the barangay and to be part of the social media platform. So if we cannot conduct a regular awareness session, we can also proceed to another implementation like a distribution of poster, flyers, and brochure in both English and Filipino so that when we can distribute it, they can be also aware about the dengue prevention. So after that implementation, what will be our expected outcome for this? So definitely, it can help to enhance the understanding about the dengue across with all age groups in a school community. Okay, so another, it can also lead for a higher involvement in school and barangay like the clean up drive and prevention initiative. So possible it can also decrease in mosquito breeding sites due to a regular community-driven sanitation effort through the help of the barangay. Okay? So let's now proceed to the next one. So when it comes to the medical system strengthening and response readiness, for this, our goal or our objective is to enhance the capacity of the local healthcare system to respond quickly when it comes to the dengue cases. So how we can implement it? So we can deploy a mobile health teams to visit the high risk, or for those low income communities, they can have a free checkup or early dengue screening if they experience some symptoms about the dengue. So if we can implement it, what will be the expected outcome? So one of that, it can increase the access to early diagnosis and treatment among in a low income family. So there will be a reduce of dengue complication and fatalities due to the timely response. Then the last one is for the monitoring and evaluation. So what will be our goal when it comes to monitoring and evaluation? So definitely, systematically, it assess the effectiveness, efficiency, and sustainability of the prevention and control initiative, especially at the Lupang Pangako Elementary School here in Quezon City. So how we can implement that if that is our objectives? So of course, we can utilize the surveys and feedback forms to gather data on community participation awareness level and resource utilization. So if we can implement that, our expected outcome is for early detection challenges or the delay of implementation allowing to the prompt corrective action. So through the data-driven insights, we can adjust strategies and allocate resources effectively.
All right, so we have the potential impact and implementation plan. So for this, we call it project phases and timeline. That includes, of course, the phases, activities, and the timeline. First, we have the preparation, stakeholder meetings, such as in the school, barangay, LGU. And we also have the resource mapping. That was last April 2025. And awareness campaign, the launch of education materials such as the posters and flyers. We have here the Dengue Classroom Talks, SPTA meetings last May 27 to 29, 2025. Community engagement, monthly cleanup drives. We call it the Oplan Taob and the fogging. Student-led awareness initiatives, barangay coordination from June to December. Medical readiness, establishment, school health protocol, coordination with the health centers for emergency response. Lastly, we have the monitoring and evaluation, baseline survey, midterm review, final evaluation and reporting from July to December. Now, how these projects bring positive change? First, we have the enhancing community awareness and engagement, improved knowledge about dengue prevention, increased community participation in sanitation efforts, long term habit formation for cleaner environments, stronger school community cooperation. Next is medical system strengthening and response readiness, faster response and treatment of suspected dengue cases, reduce, reduced risk of severe infections and school-wide transmission, greater confidence among staff and parents in the school's preparedness, strengthen ties with local health providers for sustained support. Lastly, monitoring and evaluation, continuous improvement of dengue programs, better decision making based on real-time data, community empowerment through inclusive feedback systems, sustainable impact through adaptive and responsive planning. Now, how this project bring positive change? First, a clean school environment helps reduce the spread of germs and illnesses, leading to fewer absences among students and staff. When students are healthy, they can attend school regularly, participate actively in class, and perform better academically. Next, we have the clean surroundings also promote mental well-being, making students feel safe, comfortable, and more motivated to learn. Another one, clean, organized classroom helps students focus and concentrate, which can lead to improved learning and performance. And students in a clean environment are more likely to show respect for their surroundings, follow rules, and behave responsibly. Lastly, when the school is clean and hygienic, students are less likely to get sick, which leads to better attendance.
Resources are essentials to ensure that the program is effectively implemented and sustained. For our analysis, we used financial resources, human resources, materials, and partnership collaboration. For under the financial resources, we focus on the donation and sponsorship. For human resources, we include everyone like the school health personnel, SPTA officers, parents, LGU, community volunteers, and student leaders. Materials to be used, the cleaning materials for the cleanup drive, health and sanitation supplies, and for the partnership, we have school to barangay partnership, SPTA officers to and parent involvement, LGUs, and student organization. During the milestone 2, we have interviews and survey documentation. We interviewed our SPTA president, Mr. Rolly Inverso, our master teacher in Lupang Pangako Elementary School, and some of the teachers of the school. We also conducted an online survey to to gather the insight of the parents of Lupang Pangako Elementary School. Okay. The result of the interviews and survey reveals that Lupang Pangako really needs help. Um, there are factors raised during the interview, like for environmental problem, awareness, limited support from the government. Due to these factors, our group immediately think about the how we can help. With this, we conducted seminar for the parents to promote cleanliness, environmental responsibility, and active community involvement. We also help during the cleanup activities with the help of the SPTA officers and the barangay. This is cleanup activities in our school and fogging. It highlighted the importance of cooperation between students, local authorities, the LGUs, and the residents of the whole community.
As part of the school's dengue prevention efforts, the grade 3 remedial class students took part in Oplan Taob, a cleanup activity focused on eliminating stagnant water sources where mosquitoes may breed. The activity was conducted in Dugulean sa Paaralan and at the back of the school, where students check and turn over empty containers, clean surroundings, and remove items that could collect rainwater. This initiative not only promoted environmental cleanliness but also instilled in students the importance of health, safety, and community responsibility. The attached documents include a formal letter from the school principal and an endorsement for the Oplan Taob activity. These letters demonstrate the principal's official approval and support for the participation of grade 3 remedial students in the school-wide cleanup drive. The endorsement also highlights the importance of the activity in promoting health awareness, environmental responsibility, and active student engagement in dengue prevention efforts. These documents form part of the required administrative compliance and serve as proof of coordination between school leadership and activity implementers. Members of the group voluntarily donated funds to cover expenses for Oplan Taob. Their support ensured the activity was properly resourced and contributed to the success of the dengue prevention efforts. This shows the collective commitment to a clean and healthy school environment. The references cited in our analysis include relevant books, articles, and official guidelines that provided foundational information and support our understanding of the topic. These sources ensured that the analysis was accurate, credible, and aligned with current knowledge and best practices. That's the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening and have a great day.
Careful. Malaglag ha. Selis, selis.
Yan, itataob na natin siya. Hindi na siya dapat nalalagyan ng tubig.
Careful, Esti.
Yun. Atras ka natin. Anak, ihiga mo na. Taob mo na siya. Yan. O, meron pa ba dyan sa side? Yan, anak. May nakita kayo dyan sa gilid?
Yung fish man daw itataob nila.
Ay, may gulong doon. Tingnan natin kung may tubig.
Feliz, meron?
Meron na?
Wala.
Pero pwede pa makayan yun ng lamok, diba?
May tubig ba siya?
Itaob
May
natin
tubig
siya.
ba? Wala lang, walang tubig. May tubig? O, tapon mo yung tubig.
Wait. Kaya niya na? Ang galing ng pagkamigil. Okay. Talaga. Sige, tulungan niya siya.
Careful. Mabasa kayo ha, tapos magugas kayong kamay. Okay, very good. Okay, baba na, dahan-dahan pababa. Mahal yun, halaman, baka masira. Wala na dyan. Okay.